Hello and welcome to Scandinavian Report. My name is Axel Petur Axelsson and I'm from Iceland. I'm an Icelander. And the world is looking at Iceland right now. And these events that are taking place today, it's not all what it seems. It looks like Iceland is under attack once more. We know 2008, the financial crash in Iceland was attack against the country, and Icelanders have prevailed. Iceland is a very hard-working people, and many Icelanders, we don't know what unemployment is. Well, we are lucky to have neighbors, Norway and other places in Canada where Icelanders go for work if situation goes down in Iceland, but there has been a lot of work in Iceland. For the first time in Icelandic history, there is more tourism in Iceland than fisheries and energy. But there has been a tough battle for Iceland for the last 10 years, even longer. And as everybody know, Iceland has stayed out of the European Union. And we have been facing a giant force there where we have found our ground, and we are still outside of that alliance. And but there has been a lot of investment in Iceland in NGOs, non-government organizations, and the European Union and NATO and co have been investing heavily in Icelandic politics. And the Icelandic government propaganda station, which is run by the government, they have been almost taking over by foreign interest. There is that the radio station is not working for Iceland or Icelanders. But there is a shocking picture that is going on with this psychological warfare. And that's this picture here with the Icelandic Prime Minister, with President of Ukraine, Assad, Putin, don't know who this is, and President of Iran, and then folders with blood. This is telling me that we are in a great danger in Iceland of illegal invasion from NATO and the European Union and whatever this criminal organization call them today. And the NGO in Iceland, and you have to realize this news people, they were very silent and compliant in the Icelandic crash. They seems to miss every single sign of corruption or something wrong was going on in Iceland leading up to the crash. This guy here is an NGO. He's running a company called Reykjavik Media, which is a private company, and he is behind this news. This guy has been working in psychological warfare a long time in Iceland. For Icelanders, he is quite transparent, and he is, like I say, he's an NGO working for someone else than Iceland. And I started noticing that something not normal was going on when this meeting here took place. This is 17th of April last year. Then suddenly there's news that Dagur B. Eggertsson, mayor of Reykjavik, it's just the mayor of the city of Reykjavik, he is meeting with Jens Stoltenberg or Göran Persson, which both happen to be Bilderbergers. It so happens that they are both Bilderbergers, Norway, Jens Stoltenberg, and here is they changed this list is changing on Wikipedia regularly. They're taking out people, and this is from Sweden, Waken.se. Here they talk about Göran Persson as one of the Bilderbergers. So this is what I have about that. But they meet here in Reykjavik in April. Nobody knew about this. This was like top secret almost until someone, I'm not sure how they found out, but the media downplayed this meeting very much, and it was like, but ha ha ha, it's so good to meet, and yeah, it was a nice party, and okay. So this is but a coincidence that these guys are meeting. And here is one player also. This guy is accepting salaries from the Icelandic government as some kind of artist or writer. And then he's been many years on government salaries, and he has written one lousy book. So this is an NGO also, this guy here. And this Andris Nair, he is behind this United Nations Aid Agenda 21 takeover of Iceland. They are looking at contract where all this area, see, it's almost most of Iceland, will go under UN control. So there is a lot of strange things going on in Iceland right now. And this looks like hostile takeover, or it can lead to military intervention in Iceland. Iceland has no military. There is no army in Iceland, no military. So Icelanders were very surprised when they saw this pictures in the traffic in Iceland. Tanks are streaming into Iceland. Icelandic people have never seen this before in Iceland. And the cover is they are making movie, Fast 8 or something. And this is not normal for Icelanders to see. I have questioned why, for a movie, you don't need a fully operational military equipment. You just need something for the pictures. And we are asking now in Iceland who gave authority for this. And this takeover of Iceland has been going on for a long, long time. Since, of course, it's part of the global takeover in the world since 1800 or 1700. It's in the same process, but we see Icelandic government starting changing law after 1990. They start even a little bit sooner. They start building police force. That is, they split up the police force, so it's the government police and then it's the normal police. And they put like the state police. They change everything around. And there is one man in Iceland who has legal authority to let mercenaries into the country. You don't need parliament or anything, just this one guy. And this legal frame has been building up for a long, long time. And also the Icelandic constitution, they have been trying to push through. The European Union with their NGOs in Iceland have been investing a lot of money in Iceland to pay for propaganda and for political intervention in the country, which precedes all military military intervention in countries. You see these signs before, and I'm expecting also now we see the huge military equipment being important into the country. And we see also that American military airplanes are coming back to Iceland. That was announced last week also. And we know the whole Western media is in on this thing. And for us Icelanders, we are still digesting this picture here. This picture is saying it all, basically. And so we can expect more because like on my channel and my Icelandic channel, Frelsi TV, we know that the Icelandic government is corrupt and all the Icelandic politics are corrupt. Everybody knows that. We know that the international companies buying electric from Iceland, like the aluminium smelters and the companies buying 95% of all energy in Iceland, they have never paid taxes in Iceland. Nobody is talking about that. Reykjavik media is not even talking about that. So there is a little bit strange how they are putting this news together. It doesn't seem to be honest. Well, honest news. That's It's a bad joke to put these two words together. But I say again, Iceland is a country without an army. So if there will be a military activity against Iceland tomorrow, they are rallying people in a big protest in the center of Iceland, where the Búsáhaldabyltingin was, that Skúispil, that stupid play. So, and they have been making people very, very angry in Iceland, and they are rallying the idiots to the center of the town. There you will see some shows, and possibly there will be this thing that happened in Ukraine, where snipers shot the police and the protesters, and everything went crazy after that. So this is very dangerous times for little Iceland. You realize that Icelanders are one of the biggest landowners in the world. Every Icelanders, we are per capita is Iceland the 5th largest landowners. So I'm an Iceland, as an Icelander, I'm a very rich man. I have big land. I'm an owner of a big land as an Icelander. So we know that these forces of the dark forces of the world, they hunger most for land. And also we have land up to the Arctic, and like I say, we have very big land, and we are very lucky with a lot of natural resources in Iceland. We have, and also we have taken very good care of our natural resources. We have been criticized by nations or alliances like European Union or America or things like that, who have been criticizing us for how we handle our natural resources. But they themselves have treated their resources like shit. European Union, if you let them to an area, they will destroy it in no time. But Icelanders have been very responsible. Icelandic people are very close to the nature, and we love our nature, and all alive in Iceland and around Iceland. We treat all animals on the land and in the sea and in the air with respect, and we have done so for generations. So that is also, of course, a fight for the Icelandic resources. So possibly we will see military action against Iceland, which has no military. And everything, the media, I mean, the prime minister, if he is a criminal, Icelanders will put him in jail. Didn't we put bankers in jail, if you believe that story? We put little bankers in jail who didn't control anything. And the board members of the banks all walked away and got fine jobs with the international community, the United Nations, or European Union, or NATO. The big criminals in Iceland are working there now. So this is just... and this spin with the prime minister, it's like I live in Sweden and I work in Norway. So I have bank accounts here in Sweden, and I have a bank account in Norway. And when I work in Norway, my salaries go to that account. I pay taxes there. Then I can take them here to Sweden and do whatever I like with them. That is not criminal in any way. That is just, and I can leave money there, or I have a choice. And what the prime minister's wife, it's not even the prime minister. The prime minister's wife, she inherit a lot of money. Her father was a very successful businessman in Iceland, a honest businessman. He built up the Toyota dealership, and it's very well respected in Iceland. And he became rich because of his own work or his own ingenuity. And prime minister's wife is his daughter. So she had money coming, some numbers of money, not well. It's nothing compared to what the central bank is stealing. You can almost not see it, but when they got married, there was a little bit problems with accounting, and they go to the bank and they ask for service, where is best to keep our money. And the bank advised them to put them there where they are in Tortola or whatever the name of it was. And Anna, her name is Anna, is prime minister's wife. She said, I will give everything up to the tax authorities. And I don't want this in any sense to be a tax avoidance. And that is a proven fact, that she is not trying to not to pay taxes. So that is not true in any sense. And so this is a spin. This is not close to anything like they are spinning it up to be. Of course, if the prime minister has broken the law, he will be punished. But there is no breaking law. It's just a bullshit in a box. So she has the money over there. She gives it to the tax authorities. So it's all up on the table. But me and my wife, we lived in Spain in 2010. We were 8 months in Spain, and I opened a bank account there. Maybe it's still open in Spain. I haven't talked to them for a long time. So I don't even remember the name of the bank in Spain I have. If you are from Spain and you remember my bank, you're working in the bank, you can send me a note with the name of it. But I have an account there I haven't used for 5 years or something. So if there is some other drug dealers or criminals in that bank with accounts, I don't know, I'm hoping not. But if it is so, does that automatically make me some kind of a criminal? Or this is the argument they are using in the world press. World press, it's the usual suspect, the BBC and the Swedish government radio and the Danish radio and Norwegian radio. It's all the same bullshit. I listen to news in Icelandic, Norwegian, and Swedish. I understand all these languages, and it's a little bit scary for me that from the events around the world, it's the same news. They only change the language, but it's the same order of news. It looks like it's the same editor who is editing for all these countries. So there is no crime here. That's the big problem. Where is the crime? If there is a crime, we will take the prime minister to court. And all Icelanders know that the elite is engaged in organized crime day in, day out. And the central bank is and the International Monetary Fund is openly racketeering in Iceland. The banks and the central bank and the financial system in Iceland is criminal organization. That's the problem. And the parties now that is all hoping to get these people out that is in the government now, the government that is now in place, even though they are corrupt and in this terrible, what I call organized crime, which all of these politicians are doing, the nature of politics is organized crime. And it starts with collecting money with force. That's where the crime starts. So if you are in an organization which is collecting taxes with force, you are a criminal organization. That's how it is. It really doesn't matter who leads the mafia who is doing this. It doesn't matter. And there is some old Viking thinking left in Icelandic government, which is we will never give up land and we will never join alliance like European Union. And more Icelanders are talking about leaving NATO. So they've been trying now since the 2008 to get in a new constitution, which will mean that we will lose control over our country. The new constitution they are talking about, but that's not the only constitution. I have put forth a constitution. There has been called Icelandic Þjóðveldi, which is like the Icelandic, old Icelandic constitution. It was not a constitution, but the old agreement has been restored in Iceland. So there is a lot of things been going on in Iceland all this time. And this regime who is ruling in Iceland now was forced upon Iceland 1662. In the year 1662, there was a coup in Iceland. The rule of Iceland was stolen 1662 by Denmark. And all this constitution and government who has been in Iceland ever since are criminal power thieves or coupists. What do you say in Icelandic? National Republic, yes, thank you. So the heat is turning up in Iceland. And this picture of our Prime Minister is ridiculous. And I hope nobody shows up to the protest tomorrow. There is a heavy military presence in Iceland right now, in a country without any military. So it's all foreign military. And this can turn very ugly very fast. Of course, I hope not. And I don't know what to say more. But if someone likes to interview me about my opinion of the situation that is going on, of course, this is just my opinion. It's how I see the world, and if I'm wrong about stuff, then I'm very, very sorry about that. But so far, I've been pretty close to reality with what I'm saying. And but I'm ready to, if if you need someone from Iceland for an interview with another opinion, you can contact me by email, or I have the Scandinavian Report email. Yes, you will find ways to contact me. I also have a Norwegian phone number. That is 47 for Norway. Then the telephone number is 4725-7450. I hope and pray that Iceland will keep its peaceful status, which we have held for thousands of years. The last fights in Iceland was when Norwegian king was trying to take over. And then in 1662, Denmark took over with a coup. And still on the Icelandic parliament, there is a Danish crown. So it looks like we have been in colony since 1662 without... majority of Icelanders don't even know that they are a colony. So we have rebuilt the National Republic has been restored in Iceland legally. So these people governing Iceland today are coupists. They have no legal authority over Iceland. And it looks like a military intervention is going to happen very soon. And I will keep you updated if something happens more. And you can contact me if you want to know more about the prelude to these events. Like I say, this has been going way back, what is happening in Iceland today. And thank you very much. Good night.